This is Topic 2, your science laboratory. Science laboratory is a place to conduct science experiments. Science laboratory is equipped with various materials and apparatus that use for researches and experiments. Whenever you are working inside a laboratory, you must understand and follow the rules and safety measures of laboratory. Rules and safety measures are the should and should not do during the handling of material and apparatus in the laboratory. About hazardous symbols. All the standard hazardous symbols and dangerous substances need to be recognized to avoid accidents in the laboratory. About the material and apparatus. We need to clear about the uses of the material and apparatus found in the laboratory. The experiments and researches to be conducted correctly. This topic, we will check out the apparatus commonly used in the laboratory. Apparatus and equipment in science laboratories is designed for particular uses. In general, the use of the apparatus and equipment can be categorized into 5 purposes. The first type of apparatuses is for containing, collecting, and transferring chemical. The second type of apparatuses is for measuring the volume of liquids. The third type of apparatuses is for filtering and evaporating. The fourth type of apparatuses is for heating. The fifth type of apparatuses is for holding and supporting apparatus. The apparatuses with the 5 mentioned purposes will be detailed in the coming section. We first talk about the apparatus used for containing, collecting, transferring chemical. About the test tube. A test tube is used for containing chemicals and for mixing the chemical solution. About boiling tube, which is about 50% larger than the test tube. It is used for heating chemical substances. About the beaker. It is used for containing, mixing, and heating chemical substances. About the conical flask. It is used for containing, mixing, heating chemical substances, and collecting filtrates. About the round bottom flask. It is used for containing and heating chemical solution. About the flat bottom flask. A flat bottom flask is used for containing chemical. When it is used in preparing the gases, no heating is required. About the gas jar. It is used for containing and collecting gas. About the bell jar. A bell jar is used for enclosing and separating samples. The following are the apparatus used for measuring the volume of liquids. About the measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is used for measuring the volume of liquids at accuracy of 1 cubic meter. About the burette. A burette is used for measuring the volume of liquids at accuracy of 0.1 cubic meter. About the pipette. A pipette is used for measuring a fixed volume of liquid that to be filled into a container. The following are the apparatuses used for filtering and evaporating. About the filter funnel. A filter funnel is used for separating insoluble solids from liquids. About the evaporation dish. An evaporation dish is used for evaporating excessive solvents from a solution to increase the concentrations of solutes in the solvents. The following are the apparatuses used for heating. About the Bunsen burner. A Bunsen burner is used to produce a single open gas flame, which is used for heating. About the crucible. A crucible is used to contain solids, and heated to extremely high temperature. About the test tube holder. A test tube holder is used to hold hot boiling tube. About the wire gauze. A wire gauze is used to support the beakers, flasks, or other glassware during heating. About the tripod stand. A tripod stand is used to support apparatus during heating. The following are the apparatuses used for holding and supporting apparatus. About the retort stand and clamp. Retort stand and clamp to hold apparatus. About the test tube rack. A test tube rack is used to hold test tube in vertical position. This is about the symbols of hazardous materials in laboratory. In general, the hazardous materials in the laboratory can be classified as the following items. The first to be discussed is flammable material. Flammable materials are the things that can catch fire. For safety measures, we must always keep it away from the heat source while we store it. The example of flammable material is alcohol. About the explosive material. Explosive material is the reactive substance that contains a great amount of potential energy that can produce an explosion if released suddenly. For safety measures, we keep it in paraffin oil and avoid mixing with the water or alcohol. Example of explosive material is hydrogen gas and lithium. About toxic and poisonous material. Toxic and poisonous materials are the material that capable of causing death or serious debilitation. For safety measures, please don't taste the substance. The examples of toxic and poisonous material are mercury, cyanide, chlorine, and lead. About the corrosive material. Corrosive materials are the reactive substance that can cause corrosion and damage to other substance and living tissue. For safety measures, we must avoid direct contact to corrosive material with our skin, eye. If the material accidentally split to our skin, wash it with plenty of water. Example of corrosive material is concentrated acid and alkalis. About the irritant material. Irritant material are substances that cause slight inflammation or other discomfort to the body. For safety measure, we use the material in fume chambers, as their vapor or fume can hurt the eyes, nose, and throat. The examples of irritant material are chloroform, iodine, and ammonia. About the radioactive material. Radioactive material is the unstable atomic nucleus, which loses energy by emitting harmful radiation. Radiation can cause health issue, for example cancer. For safety measure, we keep the radioactive material in lead container. Lead is the heavy metal, which can block the penetration of radiation. Example of the radioactive material is uranium, radium, thorium, plutonium. This topic is about rule and safety measures in the laboratory. Rule and safety measurements are the things you should do and the things you should avoid to ensure the safety during the experiment conducted in the laboratory. The following are the things you should do in the lab. Read and understand the instructions before starting the experiment. Report all abnormal incidents such as report accidents, injuries, breakage, and spillage to the teacher immediately. Keep the laboratory clean. Clean the apparatus after the experiment and return it to proper places. Turn off all the taps and switches after the experiment is completed and before leaving the laboratory. The following are the things you should avoid in the lab. Students are not allowed to enter the laboratory and the storeroom without permission. No eating, drinking, playing, or running in the lab. Don't remove the apparatus or chemicals from the lab without permission from the teacher. Don't throw any solid waste into the sink. Don't taste any chemicals without instruction from the teacher. The following are the safety measurements while using the apparatus and chemical. Always check the labels on the bottles to ensure the correct chemical is to be used. Don't directly touch any chemical with hand, as a lot of them are corrosive. Wear safety goggles when heating chemicals. When substances are heated inside a test tube, never point the mouth of the test tube toward yourself or anyone others. The following are the fires prevention safety measures in the lab. This is the correct way of disposition of burning material. Put out the flame of burning material with water, before disposing them into the dustbin. About a correct way of ignition of Bunsen burner. Use lighter to ignite the Bunsen burner. About cut off the fire source. Turn off the gas source after using. About the correct way to heat flammable substances. Heat the flammable substances inside a water bath. This is the appropriate action, when an accident occurs inside the lab. An appropriate action can help to reduce the impact of the accident. In the case of ingestion of chemical. When the ingestion of chemical occurs, spit out the chemical to the sink, and rinse your mouth with plenty of water. And immediately seek for medication attention. In the case of the inhalation of toxic gas, move away quickly from the gas source, and move out of the open-air environment. In the case of skin burns, flush the burned skin with cool running water, for a few minutes. And then apply burn cream. In the case of acid, or alkali, splash into the eye. Flush the eye with plenty of water, and seek medical attention quickly.